Praiseworthy and blameworthy branches of knowledge. Compulsory learning. FARZE AYIN. The Prophet of God said, quote, "To seek learning is compulsory on every Muslim. Seek knowledge even though in China." There is a difference of opinion amongst learned as to which branch of knowledge is obligatory on an individual. There are about 20 different groups in this matter. The scholastic theologians, that is the scholastic theology, because it contributes towards understanding of Tawheed and the attributes of God. The jurists say that this is fiqh or jurisprudence because with its help, worship, worldly affairs, lawful and unlawful things can be understood and known. The traditionalists say that it is the knowledge of the Quran and the ways of the Prophet. The Sufis say that it is Sufism, so on and so forth. Abu Talib Makki said that it is the knowledge about the 5 pillars of Islam. Knowledge is of 2 kinds: knowledge of practical religion and knowledge of spiritual matters. The knowledge which is compulsory ascertains to the practical religion which deals with 3 matters: belief, actions and prohibitions. For instance, when a sane man attains puberty, it becomes compulsory on him to learn the words of attestation, La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. To know its inner meaning does not then become compulsory on him. He is to believe it without any doubt or proof. The Prophet first required initially only a mere verbal acceptance of Islam and confession of faith from the Arabs. What was compulsory on them at that time was fulfilled. After that, the knowledge of the duties to do became compulsory on them. These duties deal with actions and prohibitions. As regards actions, if a Muslim reaches the early afternoon prayer, it becomes compulsory on him to first know how to pray and then put it in action. This is the case with him in case of other prayers as well. If he lives up to the month of Ramadan, it becomes compulsory on him to know the rules of fasting and then to fast. This is the case with the pilgrimage, that is the Hajj, Zakat and other duties ordained by God and binding on all Muslims. As to prohibitions, it depends upon circumstances and new events. It is not compulsory on a blind man to know which sight is unlawful, on the mute to know which words are unlawful, so as to know a thing that is not compulsory on a Muslim who does not require it. If after the acceptance of Islam there is anybody who wears a silk dress or takes property of another Muslim by force or looks at a strange woman with passion, he must know how to restrain himself from these things. So as to beliefs and thoughts of mind, their knowledge is obligatory according to the state of mind. Thus, if a man feels any doubt in his mind about the meaning of the Tawheed or of attestation formulas, it then becomes compulsory on him to know what will remove that doubt. When a duty becomes binding on a man, to acquire knowledge about it becomes binding on him. As a man is not free from hatred, envy and impulses of evil, it becomes compulsory on him to know some of the evils as described in the book of destructive evils. Why should it not be compulsory when the Prophet said, quote, "3 things are destructive: miserliness, vehement passion, and self-conceit. Other evils follow these 3 destructive evils. To remove these evils from the mind is compulsory. If a man is converted to Islam, what is compulsory for him is to believe in paradise, hell, the day of judgment, and the resurrection day." The Prophet said, to acquire learning is binding on every Muslim. He did not say to learn Alif, Lam or Mim, but he said to learn the science of actions. As actions become gradually compulsory on him, to acquire knowledge about these duties becomes compulsory on him. Farze Kifaya, compulsory duty on community. Know, O dear readers, that learning about the duties are divided into 2 categories. Those which are connected with religion and those which are not so connected. The religion learning are those which come from the holy prophets and which There is no question of intellect, and the learnings that are not connected with religion are mathematics, medicine, etc. There are three kinds: praiseworthy, blameworthy, and permissible. The sciences which are necessary for progress in the world are praiseworthy, such as medicine, mathematics, etc. These are farze kifaya, or binding on a community as a whole. Farze kifaya is such a compulsory duty without which no nation can go on in this world. If a man at least acquires such learning or science in a town or locality, all other people in the town get absolved from this sin. If, however, nobody learns it, all will be transgressors. The science which should be learned for agriculture, administration, industry, weaving, etc. are farze kifaya. To be expert in such learnings is not farze kifaya. The learnings which are blameworthy are sorcery, juggling, gambling, and likes. The learnings which are permissible are poetry, history, geography, biology, etc. All learnings connected with religion are praiseworthy, but when other learning is mixed with them, it becomes sometimes blameworthy. The praiseworthy learnings comprise branches which are helpful and supplementary learning. These are of four kinds. 1. Sources of religious learnings are four in number. Number A, the Book of God, the Sunnah, and the usages of the Holy Prophet, the unanimous opinions of the Muslim jurists, which is ijma, and the sayings of the companions. Ijma is the third source of Islam, as it shows the path towards the usages of the Prophet. The first source is the Quran and the second is Sunnah. The fourth source is the sayings of the companions, because they saw the Prophet and witnessed the coming down of revelation, and they saw what others did not see through their association to the Prophet. Number 2. Branches of learning of religion are drawn from sources not according to the literal meaning but according to the meanings adduced by the mind, thereby writing the understanding as indicated by the following hadith, quote, "A judge shall not sit in judgment when angry." This means that he should not pass a judgment when he is pressed by calls of nature, hunger, or disease. The last thing is of two kinds. One kind relates to the activities of this world, such as the books of law, and is entrusted to the lawyers, and the other kind relates to the activities of the hereafter. The latter is the science of the conditions of the heart and its praiseworthy virtues and blameworthy evils. Number 3. The third is the science helpful for praiseworthy science, such as the science of language, grammar, which are necessary to know the Quran and the Sunnah. They are not themselves religious education. They were not necessary for the Holy Prophet, as he was illiterate. Number 4. The fourth kind is the supplementary sciences and is connected with pronunciation of the words and different readings and meanings, such as tafsir, knowledge of the revocation of the verses, books on transformation and transmission, biographies of illustrious companions and narrators of traditions. These are religious learnings and are praiseworthy, and such farze kifaya or binding on the community as a whole. If you question, why have you included fiqh or jurisprudence within worldly sciences and faqih or jurisprudent as worldly scholars, the reply is this. Fiqh contains the laws of administration of the world, and faqihs are such lawyers. There is, of course, no doubt that a faqih also deals with religion, but that is done through intermediary of this world, as a world is the seed ground for the hereafter. The religion does not become perfect without the world. If you leave the religion with the rulers, you will find that the religion is the foundation and the ruler is its god. That which has got no foundation is destroyed, and that which has no god is also destroyed. Rule cannot go without a ruler, and the instrument of rule is fiqh or administrative laws. The government does not belong primarily to religious sciences. It is well known that the pilgrimage does not become perfect unless a companion is taken for protection from the robbers in the journey. But Hajj or pilgrimage is one thing, and rules for pilgrimage is another thing. A guard is a third thing, and the law is the fourth thing. The object of fiqh is to give knowledge of administration. This is supported by the following hadith, quote, "Nobody can give legal decision except for 3 ruler, authorized agent, and one that is not so authorized and who will give a decision out of his own accord. A ruler or a leader is qualified to give legal decisions. One who is authorized by him is his deputy. Except these two, the third person is called an intruder, which undertakes the responsibility himself. The companions in general refrained from giving any legal decision, but when they were asked about the Quran and the learnings of the hereafter, they did not remain silent." It may be said that the argument does not apply to various acts of worship about which fiqh gives a decision. In reply, it is said that fiqh gives decisions about the following matters of religion: Islam, prayer, zakat, halal and haram. About Islam, a faqih pays attention only to outward confessions of the kalima of tawheed, but the heart and the mind is outside his domain. The Prophet kept the rulers and the warriors outside of it. He questioned a man who praised another man as a martyr. "Have you examined the heart of the one who was killed? He uttered kalma tawheed out of fear of being killed, and then he was killed." The jurisprudent will give decision that his Islam was good, even though he uttered it under the shadow of the sword. It is therefore a matter of this world. For this reason, the Holy Prophet said, quote, "I have been ordered to fight the people until their lives and properties are safe in my hand, but it will come to no help in the hereafter. What will help him there is the light of his heart, its secret thoughts, and its sincerity, which is outside the domain of fiqh." About prayer, a faqih will give decision of correctness of the prayer if outside formalities are observed, even though one's mind is absent in the prayer from the first to the last. This kind of a prayer will be of no use to him in the hereafter. A verbal expression of the kalama shahadat will be of no use in the hereafter. Also, the outward formalities of prayer will become of no use in the hereafter. The action of the mind and God-fear will appertain to the actions in the hereafter, and which will help outward actions are outside the domain of the faqih. About zakat, a faqih will see whether zakat has been realized according to the prescribed rules. It is related that Judge Abu Yusuf gave decision that if a man makes gift of his wealth to his wife at the end of the year and takes back that wealth to him by gift, it is all right, although it is done to avoid the payment of zakat. On this point, Imam Abu Hanifa declared that if the result of his knowledge of fiqh, and it is correct, and the result of worldly wisdom, but it will give no use in the hereafter, and its harms in the hereafter will be more than the benefits. About halal and haram, to abstain from lawful things is piety, and there are 4 grades of piety. Number 1, piety which is required for the attestation of truth. If a man gives it up, he is not qualified to act as a judge, or an administrator, or witness. This kind of God-fear is only to save oneself from unlawful things. 2. The second grade of piety is that of a pious man. He saves himself even from the doubt whether a certain thing is lawful or lawful. The Prophet said, quote, "Discard that which is doubtful for that which is not doubtful." He also said, "Sin is heart alluring." Number 3, the third grade of piety is that of a God-fearing man who gives up even a lawful thing for the fear of falling into an unlawful thing. The Prophet said, "Nobody can be God-fearing man unless he gives up what causes no harm to him for the fear of what causes harm. For instance, such a man does not state all the affairs of the people unless he is drawn to backbiting, or he fears to eat a delicious food or drink, lest it stimulates passion and lust, which drive the people to commit unlawful things." The 4th grade is the piety of the Siddiq, or extremely religious man who gives up everything except God for the fear of spending even a single hour of life for nothing. Out of the above four stages, only the first one is within the domain of the faqih and not the other three. The Holy Prophet once said, quote, "Consult your conscience even though they give you decision 3 times. A faqih does not express opinion regarding the machinations of the heart, but confines his opinions on things which are subject to the matters of courts. His jurisdiction is limited to the matters of the world." The science of the road of the hereafter is divided into 2 parts, the science of revelation and the science of practical religion. The science of revelation is the primary object of the science of practical religion. A certain Sufi said, quote, "I fear the bad end of a man who has got no portion of knowledge of revelation. The least portion is to believe in it and place it to those who are worthy of it." A certain sage said, "Whoever has got 2 characteristics, hearsay and pride, will never be blessed with the secret science." Another sage said, "Whoever is addicted to this world or persists in this low desires will not attain the secret science, though he might learn all the other sciences." This secret science is the science of the Siddiq and the science of the neighborhood of God. This is the light which illuminates the heart, cleansing it of all impurities and blameworthy sins. He understands now what he heard before, but he does not understand. He comes to learn the eternal and perfect attributes of God, his works and wisdom in the creation of this world, the meanings of prophethood, the devil, the angels, and the cause of revelation on prophets, the meaning of paradise, hell, punishment of the grave, bridge, balance, accounts, and many other things. Some say that these things are mere examples, but God has reserved for the pious what no eye has seen, no ear has heard, and no heart has even conceived. Some say that man knows nothing of paradise except its attributes and names. Others hold that some are mere patterns and some are identical with the realities which these names signify. Likewise, others hold that limit to the knowledge of God is one's inability to reach it. The object of secret knowledge is to remove the covers of doubt over these things from your mind, and the appearance of such light therein which clears everything like daylight. It is possible, owing to the light of the heart. It is like a mirror through which one can see clearly everything that falls on it if it is cleared of all impurities. The science of the heart is that by which these impurities are removed from the heart, as these impurities are impediments and obstacles to the knowledge of God's attributes. The mode of clearing them is the abstinence from low desires and passions and following the ways of the prophets. Thus, to whatever extent the heart is cleaned and made to face the truth, to that same extent it will reflect in reality. This cannot be attained without discipline and efforts. This secret science cannot be written in books, but it can be gained by experience as a gift of God. About this science the Holy Prophet said, "This is such knowledge which is like hidden things. None can grasp it except those who know God. Don't despise such learned man whom God has given a portion of it, as God does not despise a man on whom he gives a gift." The second kind of practical religion is praiseworthy and blameworthy sciences of the state of the heart. Its praiseworthy qualities are patience, gratitude, fear, hope, contentment, God-fear, generosity, recognition of the gift of God under all circumstances, good faith, good conduct, truthfulness, and sincerity. To know the limit of these attributes, their real nature, and the means whereby they are attained, their results and their signs are included in the science of the hereafter. The blameworthy evils such as the fear of poverty, displeasure over the decree of God, envy, hatred, hypocrisy, flattery, hope for living long, pride, show, anger, enmity, greed, miserliness, self-conceit, to honor the rich, to look the poor with contempt, haughtiness, vanity, boasting, loss of the fear of God, expression of piety, lukewarm support for truth, secretly fostering enmity with outward of friendship, revenge, deceit, breach of trust, harsh treatment, contentment with the world, oppression, loss of shame and kindness. These are faults of the mind, roots of evil deeds and miseries. The opposing qualities are praiseworthy and the fountain heads of all good deeds. To know their real nature belongs to the science of the hereafter, and to know it is compulsory on part of learned men of the hereafter. Whoever turns away from it will be destroyed in the hands of the King of Kings, just as anybody going against temporal rulers and the law of state will be destroyed. The attention of jurisprudence with respect to compulsory sciences is towards the world, and the attention of the people is towards good of the hereafter. If any faqih is asked about sincerity, he would make delay in reply, but as soon as he is asked about divorce or other matters, he will reply at once and deal with subtle intricacies. Among the learned men of practical science, those who are God-fearing keep attached to the learned men of secret sciences. As a student sits in a school, so Imam Shafi used to sit near Shayban Ray and ask him, quote, "How shall I do this work?" The people asked Imam Shafi, "Are you asking questions to a Bedouin?" He said, "This man has learnt what we have not learnt." Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal and Ihya bin Ma'in could not agree on a certain matter, and they therefore went to Maruf Kharki, who was not equal to them in the science of practical religion. They said to him, quote, "The Prophet said, quote, 'What will you do when you not find a matter in the Quran and the Sunnah?' He said, 'Ask a pious man amongst you and consult them in this matter. We have come to you for this.'" Someone said, quote, "The learned men of exoteric knowledge are the ornaments of the world and the state, but the learned men of exoteric knowledge are ornaments of the kingdom and the angels." Hazrat Junaid said, quote, "My spiritual guide said to me once, 'With whom do you keep company when you leave my house?' I said, 'I keep company with Mohbasi.' He said, 'Yes, follow his knowledge and manners, but avoid the subtleties of his scholastic theology and return it to him.' When I left him, I heard him say, quote, 'May God make you the first muhaddis and then an ascetic, but not first an ascetic and then a muhaddis.' Its meaning is that we should acquire first the science of tradition and learning, and then become an ascetic, and he will then get salvation. But he becomes an ascetic before acquisition of knowledge, throws himself into faults. As to philosophy, it is not a single branch of science, but comprises of 4 subjects. The first subject includes geometry and arithmetic, both of which are permissible for those who are firm in faith. The second subject is logic, which is the science of reason, and it states proof, reason, and cause. Both these are included within theology. The third subject is the science of Sufism, or the science of God's being and the attributes of God. This is also included within theology. The fourth subject is physics, of which some portions contradict Sharia and true religion and therefore are not right. I shall describe the character and conduct of the early faqih. They had no other object except to gain the pleasure of God, and the science of the learned men of the hereafter were known to them and their conditions. They lived not only for the silence of fiqh, but also for the science of the heart. The companions did not publish books on fiqh or read them. So also imams did not compile books, yet they were experts in the science of fiqh. Soon we shall narrate the lives of some of the most noted faqih not to attack them but to attack those who claim to be their followers and act contrary to their characters and the conducts. The noted faqih are five: Imam Abu Hanifa, Imam Malik, Imam Shafi, Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal, and Imam Sufyan Sauri. Every one of them was an ascetic, a devout and a learned man in the science of the hereafter, law given for the people, and seeker of God's pleasure through the help of fiqh. Every one of them possessed five qualities, but the modern faqih accepted only one of these qualities. What is research in it to the minutest detail of fiqh? The four other qualities relate to the good of the hereafter, and only one relates to the good of this world. They are followed only in respect of one quality and not the four. Jazakallah khair. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.